Yes, children, quick revision of second chapter we will do. What are the properties of electromagnetic waves? The electric and magnetic fields produced by oscillating charged particles are perpendicular to each other and to the direction of propagation of the wave. Now, the picture is like this. See, this is the magnetic field component and this is the electric field component, and the direction of propagation is like this. Is that clear? So, they are perpendicular to each other and to the direction of propagation of the wave. This is what he means. Oscillating electric and magnetic fields produced by the charged particles, they are perpendicular to each other and both are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave also. Okay. So this is the picture that is showing. Okay. Now, what other properties these electromagnetic waves they have? They do not require a medium to propagate and they can move in vacuum. Then these EM waves, they are of many types. They differ in wavelength or frequency. And the arrangement of all these electromagnetic waves in the decreasing order of frequency or increasing order of wavelength is called the electromagnetic spectrum. So this is your electromagnetic spectrum. Now look here, this is frequency and this is wavelength. Now you find from 10 power 24 it is here, and here it is 10 power 0. So from 10 power 0 to 10 power 24. So here it is decreasing order of frequency, and here you will find 10 power minus 16. From 10 power minus 16 it is going to 10 power 8. So here the wavelength is increasing and frequency is decreasing. So that is what you say, that the arrangement of EM waves in the decreasing order of frequency or increasing order of wavelength is called electromagnetic spectrum. Now in this spectrum, what all you have, you see, you start with gamma rays and then X-rays and then UV rays. This is the region, that is your visible region. Then you have infrared region, then microwave, then radio waves, and then long radio waves. So this is the order, and this is the visible region, which is ranging between 400 nanometer to 750 nanometer. Why this is called as visible region? Because it is visible to our naked eye, to human eye. It is visible. That is why the wavelength corresponding to visible region, they are visible to our naked eye. That is why it is called as visible region. Okay, right. Now here again, one more thing that I wanted to show is, see here the wavelength is 750, here it is 400. Now wavelength, when it is 750, you know why red is used as a signal? Because it can be seen from a long distance. So its wavelength is very high. That is why red is chosen as signal, right? Okay. Now we have Bohr's postulates. What are the postulates? An electron present around the nucleus moves in circular orbit and it is associated with fixed energy, and these orbits are called as stationary states. The orbits are stationary, only the electron is moving. Remember that. The energy of an electron does not change with time as long as it is in the same orbit. So long it is there in a single orbit, its energy will not change. But when energy is absorbed by the electron, then it moves from a lower level to a higher level, or if energy is released, then electron is moving from a higher level to a lower level. So the difference in energy when it is, say, absorbing energy going to a higher level, or when it is releasing energy coming to a lower level, the difference in energy is given by the formula delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. And you know very well that E is equal to h nu, that is Planck's equation, and nu is equal to C by lambda. So h nu is equal to hc by lambda, or you can say delta E is equal to hc by lambda. Now, what is the energy associated with an electron belonging to nth orbit? An electron is placed in any one of the orbit, say n is equal to 1 or 2 or whatever it may be. what is the energy associated with that electron belonging to nth orbit? It is given by the formula minus 2 pi square m z square e power 4 upon n square h square. Now here m is mass of electron, z is nothing but atomic number, and e is nothing but charge of electron, h is nothing but Planck's constant, n to which orbit it belongs to. Now all these things, whatever I have marked with fluorescent color, they are all constants, and z for hydrogen is 1. So when you put the value for mass of electron, charge of electron and Planck's constant, and you solve this particular expression, you will get minus 1312 upon n square. Now this is in terms of kilojoule per mole. Now if you want to say per atom, then you have to multiply by Avogadro number, and so the value now becomes minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 upon n square. If it is per mole, this is per mole, and if you want per atom, then you have to multiply by Avogadro number. Right. So here the main thing that you need to know is when an electron is undergoing transition from one level to another, the change in energy associated is given as delta E is equal to E2 minus E1 or E final minus E initial. And delta E is nothing but h nu. So what is nu? Nu is equal to delta E upon h. Okay. So E1 and E2, what are they? They are nothing but energy of lower and higher level. Right. Now the next postulate is an electron can move only in those orbits for which its angular momentum is an integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. Now the electron is moving in circular orbit. Okay. तो वो किस orbit में जा सकती है? That depends on its angular momentum. Angular momentum is nothing but the angle that it is subtending at the center, because you are assuming that all these things, they are circular. So what is the angle that is subtended by the movement of electron where it is moving around the nucleus? That is called as angular momentum. Angular momentum is given by the formula mvr, where m is mass of electron, v is velocity of electron, and r is radius of the atom. So this is what is called as angular momentum. Is product of mass into velocity. Angular momentum is, you have to include another concept here, that is radius. And he says that it can move only in those orbits for which its angular momentum is an integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. Integral multiple, that is n into h upon 2 pi, where n can have a value of 1, 2, 3, etc. Is that clear? So here, if you know, see, this is again a constant. Mass of electron, velocity of electron, then radius. जिस रेडियस के लिए n की वैल्यू 1, 2, 3 इस तरीके से आएगा, वहीं पे ये रिलेशन सेटिस्फाई होगी, वहीं पे मूवमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन सेटिस्फाई होगी. Then apart from this, we also have the radii of stationary states. They are expressed as Rn is equal to n square A naught. Now what is A naught? A naught is a fixed value, that is 52.9. That is radius of the first stationary state, that is at the K shell, right? Now energy of a stationary state, how do you give? You give it as En is equal to minus Rh into 1 upon n square. Again, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, which are nothing but the shell number or the orbit number. This is energy of an electron belonging to nth orbit, Rh. Now this here, H is nothing but, we are talking about a standardized atom, that is hydrogen, because it's having only one electron. And R is called as Rydberg constant. And what is the value of Rydberg constant? It is 2.18 into 10 power minus 18, which we saw here. In the previous page we saw this minus 1312 को kilojoule per mole को joules per atom में convert करोगे, you will get this value. So this value is called as Rydberg constant. Now, ground state mein, when n is equal to 1, it is minus 2.18 to 10 power minus 18 upon 1 upon 1 square. So it will come out to be like this. So if n is equal to 2, then correspondingly it will be 1 upon n square, that is 1 upon 2 square. So correspondingly you will get the value for E2. Right? Now, if they are hydrogen-like species, now this is for hydrogen. If they are hydrogen-like species, that is He plus, Li2 plus, Be3 plus, is तरीके से. In that case, what you have to introduce? You have to introduce one Z square in the formula. That's all. Minus 2.18 to 10 power minus 18 into Z square by n square. Now He plus, that means its electron is there in the first shell. Li2 plus, again, after losing 2 electrons, its electron is also in the first shell. Be3 plus, after losing 3 electrons, its electron is also in the first shell only. But then you have to use the atomic number here. Okay? So here the value of energy becomes more negative and that of radius becomes smaller with increase of Z. Now radius will be 52.9 into n square by Z. So जैसे जैसे atomic number बढ़ेगा, this whole thing will get reduced. The radius will get smaller and smaller. Okay. Now the next point under this is, why is energy of an electron negative? Energy of an electron in an atom is lower than the energy of a free electron at rest. An electron which is bound in an atom is having an energy which is lower than the energy of a free electron at rest. That is, an electron, if it is at an infinite distance from the nucleus, its energy is assumed to be 0. Say this is the nucleus and an electron is there far away from the nucleus. Its energy is considered to be 0 at an infinite distance from the nucleus. So you say E infinity is equal to 0. Electron which is placed at an infinite distance from the nucleus, its energy is taken as 0. Now as the electron moves towards the nucleus, an electron is getting attracted towards the nucleus because nucleus is having positive charge, protons. So if the electron is attracted towards the nucleus, what happens? Whenever it is moving from a higher energy to lower energy, energy is emitted. So as and when, say this is the nucleus and the electron is there somewhere here, मान लो, तो यहाँ से जब ये न्यूक्लियस की तरफ आएगा तो इलेक्ट्रॉन एमिट करते हुए आएगा. Here its energy is 0. Now when it is moving towards the nucleus, what happens? It is emitting energy. So from 0, when it is emitting energy, what will happen? Here E will become negative. Here it will become more negative. Here it will become more negative. Here it will become more negative. So as and when it goes near the nucleus, its energy will become more and more negative. Okay? That is why you say energy of an electron is negative. Okay? The most negative energy value is associated with n is equal to 1, where the electron is bound to the nucleus very strongly. Okay? So that is the most stable state for the electron of hydrogen. Hydrogen is having only one electron. So its electron is much more comfortable when it is very close to the nucleus. It is bound to the nucleus very strongly. So that is considered as the most stable state for that of hydrogen. Right. So more negative the energy is, more closer it is to the nucleus. Right. Now it is also possible to calculate the velocity of electrons. Magnitude of velocity of an electron, it increases with increase in positive charge of the nucleus and decreases with increase in the distance of electron from the nucleus. That is, increase in the shell or orbit number. Calculate the velocity of electrons. The magnitude of velocity, what is telling, it is increasing with increase in positive charge. न्यूक्लियस में जितना ज़्यादा प्रोटॉन्स होंगे उतना ही velocity increase होगा, and it decreases with increase in the distance of electron from the nucleus. और जितना दूर जाएगा उतना ही इलेक्ट्रॉन की जो velocity है वो कम होती जाएगी. जितना पास में है उतना ही magnitude of velocity ज़्यादा होगी, जितना दूर है उतना ही कम होगी. Right. Now what are the limitations of Bohr's postulates? It could not explain the spectrum of multi-electron atoms. See, it is able to explain only for Li 2 positive, then He positive. So where there is only one electron, only for such electrons, the theory is able to explain the spectrum, not for multi-electron atoms. Then it could not explain Zeeman effect and Stark effect, which is splitting of spectral lines in magnetic field and electric field. It could not explain the shapes of molecules, and it was not in accordance with Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and it could also not explain the ability of atoms to form molecules. Why at all atoms combine to form molecules? Why they are attached by chemical bonds? For all these questions, there was no answer in the Bohr's theory. So these are the limitations, right? Okay.